The post had over 1,200 likes when I saw it. A selfie. Sunlight brushed the side of her face like it had been planned. Arms wrapped around the man I never thought would come back. Reunited with my real dad. After 20 years, I finally feel whole. The man who raised me was just a chapter I needed to get through. This is where I belong. There was a heart emoji at the end, and a tag. At Jason Burns, 1972. I stared at the screen longer than I needed to. There was a time, years ago, when I used to memorize her Instagram captions like they were poetry. Back when I didn't have to scroll to find a photo with me in it. Back when stepdad wasn't a legal technicality. It was a word she said with pride. Now I sat in the quiet of our kitchen, the same kitchen I'd retiled myself the week she got into Ohio State. I didn't blink. Just placed the phone screen down on the placemat and turned off the burner. The water in the kettle hadn't boiled yet. Didn't matter. I wasn't in the mood for tea anymore. I walked to the living room. The evening light spilled through the bay window, hitting the framed photos on the mantel. One of them was from her 6th birthday, the week I'd met her. Her cheeks sticky from cake, her arms around my neck like I'd been her dad forever. That photo would come down later. The front door opened behind me. "You started dinner?" my wife asked, kicking off her heels. "Smells like chicken." I didn't answer. She walked in, set her purse down, then reached for a glass. "Long day. How was yours?" I picked up my phone and turned it so she could see. She squinted, frowned. Then her eyes widened. "Oh," she said after a long pause. "You saw it. She posted it on Father's Day," I said, my voice flat. She poured wine slowly, too slowly. "She's just trying to reconnect with him. He reached out a few weeks ago. I didn't want to say anything until she was ready." I turned toward her. "You knew?" "I wasn't sure if it would turn into anything," she said, not meeting my eyes. "I thought maybe he'd ghost her again like he always does. But he showed up. They've had a few dinners." "Dinners?" She finally looked at me. "David, don't take this personally." I nodded once. "Right. She's finding herself. This doesn't change what you did for her. What we did. Let her have this moment. Don't make it about you." I walked past her. She didn't stop me. Upstairs, the hallway was dim. Her room was still the same, the door slightly ajar, the edges of her high tulle photos curling in their frames. She hadn't lived here in almost 2 years, but the space was frozen, as if we were all still pretending she'd be back for dinner next Sunday. I stepped inside. The desk was cluttered with old notebooks, dried pens, and a few framed quotes about choosing joy. I opened the top drawer. There it was, the envelope I'd written months ago, sealed but never delivered, her name written in pen. I added one thing, a note card I grabbed from the guest room drawer. On it, in block letters, I wrote, "He's yours now." I placed the card inside the envelope, resealed it with the same piece of tape that had yellowed at the corners, and laid it gently on her desk. The room was quiet. The whole house was. I could hear the soft clink of my wife's wine glass downstairs. In the mirror above the desk, I looked the same as I had the day I first taught her to ride a bike in the church parking lot. The same tired smile. The same hair she once said made me look wise. I didn't feel wise now. I turned off the light, closed the door, went downstairs, sat back at the table. The tea kettle whistled, but I didn't move. My wife walked in, paused when she saw me. "You okay?" I picked up the mug, poured the water, and set it aside. Didn't drink it, just watched the steam curl upward like smoke from a slow-burning fuse. I didn't say a word. I didn't need to. I met Marissa when she was 6. She had grass stains on both knees and a Hello Kitty backpack 3 sizes too big for her frame. Her mother and I had been dating for about 4 months, and I'd come by to fix the screen door that kept slamming shut in the wind. She peeked around the corner while I worked. Didn't say anything at first, just watched. Her mother whispered, "Don't force it." I didn't. I just smiled, held up a screwdriver and said, "Want to help?" She nodded, quietly. That was the first time she sat beside me on a porch. Wouldn't be the last. Her father was already gone by then. 2 years gone, depending on which version of the story her mother told. Some days, he was a tortured soul on the road to find himself. Other days, he was just a man with no spine and a fresh girlfriend every season. It didn't matter. Not to me. I wasn't trying to replace him. I just wanted her to feel like someone showed up. So I did. Every day. The first time she got sick, I took off work to stay with her. She clung to me like a barnacle, eyes red and nose running, muttering between coughs, "You're warm." The second time she got sick, I didn't even tell her mother I'd rescheduled 4 clients. Just brought her soup and wiped her forehead with a damp cloth. By the third time, she asked for me instead of her mom. We never talked about titles. She called me David until she didn't. When she was 11, she tried out for the softball team. Came home crying because the coach told her she threw like a duck. I spent the next 3 weekends with her in the yard. We went through 3 gloves, 2 busted fence panels, and 1 broken window. She made the team the next year, hit cleanup by spring. When she scored her first home run, she ran straight past third base and launched into my arms behind the dugout. The mud on my jeans that day never came out. My friends told me to be careful. "She's not yours," they'd say, sipping beers after work. "You don't want to set yourself up for that kind of heartbreak." I ignored them. What kind of man measures love by blood? She was 15 when the first panic attack hit. It was after school. She came home shaking, backpack half unzipped, mascara smeared. Her mother was at a yoga retreat in Vermont. I held her on the kitchen floor for an hour, neither of us saying anything. Later that night, when she finally calmed down, she said, "I don't know why I get like this." I told her, "Some of us carry storms. Doesn't mean we don't know how to build." I paid for her therapist out of pocket, $120 a session, twice a week, for 2 years, never missed a payment, never asked for reimbursement. Her mother thanked me once, then forgot. When she was 18, she got into Ohio State. Her mother cried. I built her a desk for her dorm room. Took me a week. Oak, hand-carved edges, folding legs for transport. She texted me a picture the day she moved in. "Best desk on campus. Love you." I saved that text. Still have it. Somewhere. My mom died when Marissa was 20. The funeral was in Cleveland. She had midterms. Her mother had work. Marissa had called me 2 nights before. "I don't want you to go alone, but I'm just overwhelmed." I told her it was fine, that I understood. Then, the morning I was supposed to leave, she called again, sobbing. Said she didn't want to be alone that day. She had a final exam and couldn't stop shaking. So I stayed. Didn't tell her why. Just said, "Let's get breakfast." I funded her tuition through a college trust account I set up myself. Not because anyone asked me to. Not because she expected it. Because she deserved peace. My parents had left me a modest inheritance. I used every penny on her education. She graduated debt-free. Her mother posted a photo of the 2 of them at graduation. The caption read, "My girl made it on her own. So proud." I wasn't in the photo. For her 21st birthday, I gave her the scrapbook. Every birthday, every report card, every photograph, every softball win, concert, and dance recital. A lifetime of moments. I stayed up until 3 a.m. for 2 weeks to finish it. She opened it, teared up, and hugged me. "Thank you, Dad," she whispered. That was the only time she ever called me that. Just once. Now, as I sit here in the kitchen, the same place I made her midnight pancakes during exam week, the same counter where she cried about her first heartbreak, I can feel the silence of everything we built cracking like ice under my hand. The post still haunts my phone screen, reunited with my real dad. I glance up at the mantle. The softball photo, the prom night shot, the one where she's holding my hand in the hospital waiting room after her wisdom teeth removal. They're just pictures now, not proof. I walk upstairs again, slower this time. Her door is still closed. Inside, I open the closet. There's the scrapbook, right where she left it after her birthday. Unopened since. I take it down, flip through the pages. Page 1, the first time she fell asleep on my chest. Page 17, the day she made varsity. Page 33, the night she said I saved her. I close the book, carry it back to my room, set it in the bottom drawer. The envelope is still on her desk, still sealed. I haven't added to it, haven't touched it, because what needs to be said has already been lived, and she saw it. She just chose to forget. I sleep on the couch that night. The house feels foreign now, like a place I helped renovate, only to be evicted quietly. No yelling, no slamming doors, just a quiet, drawn-out erasure, and I'm the one holding the sponge. She called me Dad once, just once. The next morning I drove to the DMV. It was quiet, no lines, just a woman at the front desk chewing gum with the kind of indifference you only earn after 10 years of state employment. "I need to revoke the registration on a vehicle," I said. She tapped her keyboard. "License plate? BZ3-24F. She looked up, surprised. "That's a 2018 Civic. Ownership split between you and a Marissa Grady." I nodded. "The car was a gift. Ownership wasn't." She tapped again. "Insurance? Canceled 30 minutes ago." She gave a slow blink, then a small shrug. "Done. Anything else?" I thought about the wedding venue deposit, the check I'd written 6 months ago, back when she'd floated the idea of an outdoor ceremony by the lake, back when she'd still been calling me about centerpiece ideas. "No," I said. "That's it for now." At home, I printed a document from my old laptop, a financial trust withdrawal form. The college fund had a remaining balance of $8,341.27. I moved it to my personal account. The name on the trust had always been mine. Legally, emotionally, that was something else. The envelope on her desk was still there. I hadn't heard from her. No calls, no texts, no thank you for the tuition, no sorry for the caption. Silence doesn't always come from guilt. Sometimes it comes from entitlement. I opened the drawer beside the couch. Inside was the car title, her name on it, my signature at the bottom. I tore it in half. Then again, then again. The email from the wedding planner arrived that afternoon. Hi David, just confirming our final vendor payment schedule. I'll need the last 50% of the balance by the 15th to lock in catering and the DJ. I replied, the event sponsor is withdrawing all financial support. Please direct future communication to the bride. No sign-off, no signature, just a single sentence. Her mother knocked on the bedroom door that night. I was folding shirts. My bag was already half packed. You're making a scene, she said. I didn't look at her. Number, I'm making a decision. She's young. People say things. She said it with her whole chest. She didn't mean to erase you. She didn't even realize she did. That night, I posted one photo, black and white. The desk I built for her dorm room, sitting in the garage under a blanket of dust. Caption, built this for someone I thought would remember who gave them a place to write their future. No hashtags, no name tags. Didn't need them. She saw it. I know because she liked it, then unliked it, then nothing. The lawyer called 2 days later. David, you still want to proceed with the revocation? Yes. And you're aware it means full withdrawal from all joint commitments. Vehicle, tuition sponsorship, housing deed, financial power of attorney. I'm aware. A pause. Are you sure you want to go that far? I picked up the envelope again, ran a thumb along the edge. Inside it, I had included the photo from her first recital, and a note. He's yours now. Send the paperwork, I said. 3 days later, my number was removed from the wedding website. Her name was still listed with both fathers. Jason Burns, father of the bride. David Grady, former step-guardian. That's what she called me. Former step-guardian. I left the house the next morning. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't slam doors. Just took the photo album from the hallway shelf, the carving knife from the kitchen, and the scrapbook from the drawer. That's all I needed. I booked a long-term rental 2 towns over. A small 1-bedroom above a hardware store. The owner didn't ask questions. I didn't offer answers. I brought the photo album into the room, laid it flat, and began tearing pages out. Not angrily. Not like a man erasing his history. More like pruning. Surgery, not violence. I kept the ones that still meant something. The first softball trophy. The time she gave me a Father's Day card with a Batman sticker and said, "You don't wear a cape, but you always save me." I left out the graduation. The birthdays after 16. The page titled, "Walking Me Down the Aisle Someday." Didn't need those anymore. Her fiancé texted me 2 nights later. Hey David, I know things are tense, but if you'd reconsider walking her down the aisle, it would mean a lot. I stared at the message, then typed one line. I wasn't invited to the aisle, just to the waiting room. That invitation expired. Blocked the number. Marissa finally messaged me. Are you really cutting me off because I found my father? I thought you loved me. I read it twice, then shut the screen. There's a kind of love that doesn't scream when it dies. It doesn't write novels or yell in driveways. It just exhales and disappears. I had done what I could, and now I would do less. I would remove, detach, withdraw, because what I built had been labeled temporary, just a chapter, so I'd close it, silently. The first missed brunch didn't feel like a warning. Jason texted her 5 minutes after their reservation. Ran late at the studio. Can we do next week? She told her fiancé it wasn't a big deal, that artists were wired differently. The second time, he didn't text. The restaurant held the table for 30 minutes. She sat alone, scrolling through Pinterest centerpieces. The hostess eventually came by, tilted her head sympathetically and said, "If you want to wrap up the tab, I can box the appetizer." Marissa nodded, left a big tip, pretended nothing was wrong. He resurfaced that evening on Instagram, holding a guitar, whiskey glass on the floor beside him. Caption, "Real ones know. Some days the demons sing louder than the fans." 38 likes. The wedding planner called her the next morning. "Hi, Marissa. Just checking. Your stepdad's check bounced." She blinked. "David?" "Yes. He sent the deposit, but the final 50% hasn't arrived. I emailed him, but he said to redirect everything to you." There was a long silence on the line. "I thought," she cleared her throat, "I thought he was still paying for it." The planner chuckled awkwardly. "Well, you may want to clarify that. We'll need the balance by Friday or we'll have to release the date." She drove home that night, opened the wedding spreadsheet. The shared folders David had set up were gone. The budgets, the contracts, the vendor lists vanished. Only one file remained. Personal, Marissa. She clicked it. Inside, a photo of the desk he built for her, alone in a garage. A sticky note scanned beside it. "Don't build a life by forgetting who hammered the first nail." She texted him. "I don't understand what's happening. Why are you doing this?" No reply. Jason missed the cake tasting. Didn't call. didn't show. When she confronted him, he shrugged. I don't do wedding stuff. I told you. This is your thing. She laughed, thin, forced. You can't even pretend to care? He raised an eyebrow. Look, I'm not David, okay? I'm not the perfect dad. I'm me. You wanted real. You got real. Her car got towed the next day. Unregistered. Insurance revoked. She called her mother in a panic. He canceled the insurance, her mom said quietly. And the plates. What? Why? I don't know. She did. The final unraveling happened at brunch with Tasha, her old roommate. They hadn't spoken in months. Tasha always preferred David to her. Why'd you do that post? Tasha asked, sipping her mimosa. What post? About your real dad. On Father's Day, Marissa looked away. It was impulsive. Tasha nodded. You know he built that house, right? I know he remodeled it. He built it. Every beam, every tile, every window frame. My dad told me he stayed up 3 nights fixing the plumbing during a freeze so you wouldn't lose heat. Marissa stirred her coffee. You know he pawned his watch to pay for your textbooks, 2nd year? She didn't. That night she opened the old box in her closet. The scrapbook. First page, a picture of her asleep on David's chest. Age 7. Next page, the softball trophy. Then prom photos. Awards. All intact. But around page 30, the pages went blank. No college graduation, no birthday 21st, no wedding dress try-ons, just emptiness. At the bottom of the page, in ink, I documented the years I was chosen. When I wasn't, I stopped. She drove to the old house the next morning. Her key didn't work. She knocked. A young boy answered, maybe 13. Behind him, David appeared, older, beard grown in, wearing a flannel shirt with wood dust on the sleeves. Hi, she said. He nodded. Marissa, I just wanted to... The boy tugged David's sleeve. Is she the one from the pictures? David looked at him, then back at her. Number, that story's over. He stepped outside, closed the door behind him. She swallowed. You're mentoring now. Yeah. He called you Dad. David didn't answer. I made a mistake, she said, voice shaking. I thought he'd come back different. David nodded. He did come back, just not changed. She opened her mouth, but he held up a hand. I'm not angry, he said. I'm not punishing you. I'm just not choosing someone who wouldn't choose me back. I was confused. No, Marissa, you were clear. She stood there for a long time after he went back inside. Then she walked to her car, got in, and sat in silence. The new registration sticker still hadn't arrived. Later that night, her mother called. How did it go? Marissa didn't answer for a moment. Then, he's different. No, her mother said, he's just done. The next day, she tried to log into the wedding account. Password changed. She messaged Jason. Did you update our budget doc? He replied, I deleted it. Don't need a spreadsheet to know what I'm worth. She sat in her old room, scrolling through old photos. David's eyes were always steady, always just outside the spotlight, always holding someone else's joy. Now they weren't there at all. She clicked on her Father's Day post, hovered over the caption, then clicked delete. The silence after that wasn't peaceful. It was hollow, not punishment, just absence. And it echoed. The Father's Day card arrived on a Tuesday. White envelope, her handwriting, slanted, careful, like she used to write spelling words at the kitchen table. I didn't open it. Didn't throw it away either. Just placed it inside the drawer next to my carving blades. Next to the card she gave me when she was 15. You don't wear a cape, but you always save me. I didn't hear from her after that for 3 weeks. The silence wasn't new. What made it different now was that I no longer expected it to break. The boy I was mentoring, Eli, started showing up early. He was 12, foster kid, lost, unsure, polite. He liked sanding more than sawing. Said the noise made him feel like something was happening. When he asked why I worked in silence, I told him, some lessons don't need to be said out loud, just built. One evening, he showed up holding a battered comic book. Said he found it in a thrift shop, Batman on the cover. I thought you liked the ones without capes, he said. I smiled. Sometimes people change their minds. That night, I opened the sealed box I'd been building for 2 weeks. Small, walnut, smooth finish. Inside, a book, blank pages, cover title, placeholder. I placed a sticky note inside the front cover. You chose him. Now build with him. No anger, just acknowledgement. I mailed it to her with no return address. Didn't track it. Didn't care if she posted about it. It wasn't a warning. It was the last thing I'd ever give her. The next week, Vanessa, the wedding planner, called. She sounded nervous. I didn't mean to overstep, but I saw your note in the system. You okay? I laughed quietly. Never better. Is it true? You're not walking her down the aisle? I paused. She's walking herself. Jason disappeared again. Marissa's mother told me through a forwarded message. He skipped the wedding rehearsal. Claimed he was in rehab again. Or maybe a tour, no one was sure. He left behind an invoice. Apparently, she'd been covering his expenses. A week before the wedding, Marissa showed up again. Same flannel porch, same hour, different girl. She looked smaller, not thinner, just less. Less of the fire, less of the certainty. "I got your box," she said. I nodded. "Good. Why didn't you write anything in it?" I looked at her. "I did, just not with ink." She blinked. I didn't understand at first. I thought it was a joke. Then I realized it's all the pages you didn't fill, all the memories we never made. Not we, I corrected. You, she swallowed. "I don't want to lose you completely. You already did. The moment I became optional." She tried to speak. I stopped her. "I'm not mad at you, Marissa. I'm not broken. But I'm not available anymore. That was a one-time role. I filled it longer than anyone expected." She nodded. Eyes red. "Will you come to the wedding?" "No." "Why?" "Because I wasn't invited. Not really, not where it mattered." As she left, Eli came around the side of the house holding 2 pieces of wood. He paused, watched her get in the car. "Was that her?" "Yeah. She doesn't look like she used to." "No," I said. "She doesn't." The wedding happened on a Sunday. It rained. The venue changed last minute due to water damage. Jason didn't show. The photos were cropped to hide the empty seat. They said she walked herself down the aisle, smiling bravely. I didn't ask. That Monday, a small package showed up at my P.O. box. Inside, a photo. Her as a child, sitting on my shoulders at the zoo. Back of the photo had one line. "You were never a placeholder." I just didn't know what permanence meant until it was gone. No signature, no apology, just that. I placed it in the box with the others. Didn't respond, didn't need to. I took Eli fishing the next weekend. He caught nothing, said the lake was broken. I told him sometimes peace doesn't look like catching. It just looks like waiting with quiet hands. When he asked if I had any kids, I said, "I did once." "Where are they now?" "Somewhere I don't go anymore." I dropped the Father's Day card in the fireplace that night, watched it curl and vanish. The ink blistered first, like memories burning backwards. Some things once torn don't mend, and sometimes what looks like abandonment is just a man setting down the weight he was never meant to carry forever. She'll be okay. So will I. But we won't be okay together. That's all for this story. I'll be back with another one. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It motivates me to create more content like this.